Hey guys, K9 with ETX Tactical and Survival, and I wanted to do a video in response to a couple of people that have messaged me from my area within the last 24 hours. We recently got hit with a lot of massive severe thunderstorms, a couple tornadoes, and we have lost the power grid around our area. And they're asking me, well, what do I do? I still have to cook. I still have to be able to communicate. I'm like, did you put together your B.O.B? Well, yeah, but I don't want to touch that until absolute necessary when a survival situation happens. Look around. It's a survival situation. We prepare for situations like this, whether it's small or it's big. It's still a situation where you have to overcome, adapt, and survive. So don't be afraid to utilize the items that you have in your B.O.B or around the house. Use it, come back later, replace it, you're good to go. Now, as far as communication goes, this is what I recommend. Now, I do have a backup generator that I can run, but I don't want to run it a whole lot because I don't want the whole world knowing that I'm able to provide at least a little bit of electricity, and I don't want to become a target. So I limit what I can run off of it and how long I do. Plus, I don't want to use all my resources. So when it comes to charging my phone or my communication devices, I go with this. It's a solar powered charger with a dual USB, and I can set it out in the sun and have it charging at the same time while it's charging my phone, so that way I can still communicate, still check the weather, still see what's going on in my area. Now, despite the situations that we're facing with the no power and the cleanup and everything with this natural disaster, I still have to go on patrol later. So I have to be able to fix my food for when I'm out there. So I'm going to show you, since you're not evading from your house, you still have everything here. I'm going to show you utilizing the stuff out of your B.O.B can help you even in the smallest survival situations. And it's not hard to do. You're not going without. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to cook using items from your B.O.B, so that way you don't go hungry and you can still eat in style. Okay, as you can see, these are basic items that I have in my B.O.B and around the house. I am going to make a chicken and shrimp scampi just using these basic items. Okay, this is by Coleman. This is my butane tank that I will be using in order to cook. And then what I keep in my B.O.B is this little case here. And it's basically a portable stove that I use with my butane tank. I try to keep at least 2 butane tanks inside my bug out bag just in case I have to do a urban evasion instead of a woodland invasion where I don't have all the debris and such. But basically you would fold these out and that would be your rack. It comes with this little piece here, which is your nozzle, and it's real simple. All it does is twist in there. Take your butane tank, set this on, and you're going to twist it. And there you have your basic stove. Now, what I'll be using to do my cooking is a camping tent set. We have these in the military. You can get them at any surplus store, outdoor store. But I love it because it carries multiple uses. Just twist this down, tighten it so that way you have a handle. Comes with a skillet, a pan, a pot, and inside that pot I have a drinking cup and a collapsible cup. We don't need the pot right now. We're going to set that to the side. And all you simply do with your stove Turn it on. You'll hear it hiss. That way you know it's coming out. Light it, and there you go. We'll take our skillet. Now I have a filleted chicken breast that I'm going to be fixing today. Let's turn that down a bit. Instantly it starts cooking. Add a little bit of the scampi sauce. And I want to add some shrimp to it as well. I don't like the tails on my shrimp, so I take them off. It's almost like frying, and it's close to the heat source. We want to turn it down a little bit more. We don't want the grease to start popping everywhere and possibly catch something on fire. I can already smell the chicken and shrimp already cooking with the lovely scampi smell. Now, I think we'll start off with that for now. And since we did innovate, we're still at home, we still have the luxuries of our seasonings. Stick a little onion powder in it. Along with a little bit of garlic powder. Now, I love this particular tool here because it comes almost looking like a Swiss Army knife. However, it separates. I've got my fork, my different can openers, corkscrew opener. Go to the other side, you got your spoon and a knife. And a little pinpoint knife. It's being a butthole right now. But I will take my fork and just kind of stir it around. I want to make sure that the meat's done all the way. The last thing you want to do, whether evading or bugging in, is not have your meat done all the way. That's how you can get sick. And the last thing you want to do when you're out and about is to get food poisoning or Ebola or such because you didn't cook your meat all the way. Especially when bugging out, when you don't have the luxury of just hopping in a car and going to a doctor. Turn it just a little bit. Another spice I forgot is adding a little bit of oregano. I love the flavor of oregano on my meat, especially the way it cooks with the scampi sauce. Now I've placed the lid on it. I'm going to let it cook in there, chop the heat in so I'm not just overusing my butane. I can keep it at a lower level. Keeps the heat in, still cooks it. So stick around and we'll see the outcome. Okay, so my shrimp's done. My chicken still needs to be cooked a little longer. Now it's time to take the shrimp out. and put it either in your pot or your plate, depending if you're going to mix anything else with it. Alright guys, I'm going to take this time while my food is cooking. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I'm going to utilize this opportunity to start gathering wood. Now it's going to be a little difficult because of the amounts of rain that we had in such a short period. A lot of your brush and debris, your wood and stuff is going to be wet. Now I have items in my bug out bag that will help me overcome that and dry it out, but until I'm ready to use it, I can gather the wood, set it out in the sun, let it dry, and that way when I decide to cook later, I have an open fire, wood ready to go, and that way I'm not using all of my resources of butane, and I can save that on absolute emergencies in case it starts raining again. That might put out my fire. So when surviving, you want to take every opportunity that you have to not only handle the here and now, but also prepare and be able to handle what's going to come in the next couple hours or the next day or so. So stay tuned. I'm going to gather wood, and when I come back, the food should be ready. So there you got it, guys. Food's done. Chicken, shrimp, scampi in my backyard using the items from my bug out bag. I didn't have to wait until I had to evade or a catastrophe happen. Natural disasters, survival situations come a dime a dozen, small or large. Some of them you might not even realize just because your natural instinct kicks in, that natural survival drive kicks in, and it's so small that you don't even realize it. So don't store your items just to wait for a catastrophe. In a survival situation, use what you got, go back later and replace it. But what good is it down the road if you couldn't survive through the small things now? So I'm going to sit here and eat while my wood dries out and enjoy my meal. I got more cooking for when I go on patrol tonight. I can stop and eat my food. So hope this is helpful to you, kind of an eye-opener. As always, I'm K9 with ETX Tactical and Survival. Stay safe, stay smart, stay alive. God bless. Bon appetit.
So how is it?
Wonderful, man. You gotta try this. Wonderful.
Oh yeah? Should fix me some.
Shoot, I might not make it to work with it. I might end up eating it before going to work.
Fix me some.